second time. So, magulo siya. Okay. That's fine. I think we're done with that, and then we can go to the other questions. Yes, I think you had some submissions on the SLP and these motor vehicles that are really not of interest. I think what's more of interest is to determine how to safeguard and secure all those bringing cash all over the place. Ano po ito? Yeah. I don't understand. Ano to? Yes. I think I had a question also about the creation of a disaster resilience department.
Ma'am, you spoke about that in our last hearing. I was saying kasi yung disaster arm ng DSWD, wala ho siyang bureau. Lahat sila contract of service. Kasi nga, the reason being, there was a drive then to create a disaster department at ililipat sila doon.
Correct.
Kaya puro contract of service rin yung buong department cluster namin on disaster response. That was the context.
Contractual?
Contract of service, ma'am.
Sorry. So JO pending creation of new department.
Yes, ma'am. But our plead now with DBM is to baka habang inaantay yun, baka pwede kami humingi ng mga regular positions also kasi parang hindi pa ho namin makita yung disaster department.
Right. There are child nutrition advocates in the Senate, and I'd like to ask some additional questions. To do with a supplemental feeding program, providing hot meals, 5 to 7 days. So, may resulta ba kayo nito? Kasi ang alam ko, hindi talaga nag-work. Ako, hirap na hirap ako kasi nag-feeding rin ako sa Nutriban. Hindi talaga nagsasucceed ka agad. 120 days may not be sufficient.
Madam, you're correct. It's not sufficient. That's why we've been asking to move it in 118, di ba?
120 na kayo ngayon. Hindi, ang problema kasi, wala kayong results-based management.
No. Ma'am,
anong resulta? Di nagpakain tayo.
Madam, the LGUs are the ones submitting in the information system yung wasted and severely wasted status ng mga bata. Kasi we don't have boots on the ground.
Pero considering na kayo ang may hawak ng budget na yon, kayo pa rin ang may pananagutan niya.
Yeah. Ma'am, whenever it's consolidated, the results will show that there's improvement in wasting. From severely wasted and wasted, nababawasan ko yun.
Yes, but we need to know more precisely so that we target it properly. Siyempre, yung severely wasted, iba yung sitwasyon sa mildly malnourished. So we have to, I think, we have to target more carefully. Kasi yung severely wasted, ibang story talaga yun. Hindi sasapat yung 120 days.
Madam Chair, in the feeding,
ang problema niyan, sinasantabi ninyo at saka sinasabi nyo LGU na ang sasagot. Hindi pwedeng LGU ang sasagot kasi yung pera nasa inyo eh.
Ma'am, Madam Chair, the feeding has multiple modalities. One of the main modalities, we download the funds to the LGU for them to procure from local co-ops kasi hindi namin kaya mag-regional procurement all the time dahil wastage, spoilage. So in effect, they're the ones keeping tab of the children's weight status, and they input it in the feeding information system.
Pero can't we require bago kayo can't it be required bago kayo mag-release ng pera ulit sa LGU, dapat may closure report sila kung ano nangyari sa bata.
Sir, there is a post-feeding assessment that they submit to us.
But we have no results.
Madam
in
Chair,
the report you provided, walang naibigay.
ito yung hiningi, no?
Did it work? Didn't it work? Were
Madam
we
Chair,
successful?
yes.
Were we palpak?
Madam Chair, what we can do is furnish the committee a copy of the results. Basically, what we look for are anthropometric measurements. Yung head circumference niya,
Yes, understood.
height,
Kaya
weight,
lang,
BMI.
pero wala siyang before and after. Kailangan maliwanag yung before and after eh. At saka dapat siguro, iba-ibang klase, yung severely wasted nga, kesa sa mas mild or just occurred during the bagyo.
Madam Chair, there is a baseline data that is
Yun na nga,
collected,
but
and then
I
an end line submit to you.
All you're providing us is what was released.
Madam Chair will submit to the committee the results of the feeding program in the past 3 years.
Because given the state of malnutrition in the country, it's not working, is what I'm saying. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that we need to get our act together between DSWD, DOH,
Yes,
and DepEd. Our nutrition programs are simply not working.
Madam Chair, as we speak, there's a NEDA commission group with those three departments that you mentioned to synchronize it. We've given recommendations, for instance, sa amin 120 days, pero sa DepEd 180 days. The unit
Tsaka
cost...
DepEd, it's too late. Matanda na sila, 7
Yes.
years old na. Yung 1,000-day period is lost.
Yes, Madam Chair.
And then with DOH naman, puro micro-supplements na nag-e-expire. Puro vitaminang ine-expire.
Madam Chair, yes.
Ayaw nila magbigay ng pagkain, hindi ko maintindihan.
Madam Chair, we can submit to you the nutrition continuity plan that we plotted. In that nutrition continuity plan, it will show our action and interventions in the first 1,000 days to include the new first 1,000-day grant ng 4Ps, and then the facility-based intervention, 3 to 5 in the daycare centers, and then DepEd's feeding program.
Yes,
We can submit to you.
a more results-based report.
We will,
because,
Madam Chair.
Clearly, malnutrition's not moving. If anything's been exacerbated.
We will, Madam. We'll submit to you, Madam Chair, the post-feeding reports that we have for the prior 3 years.
I'm confused also by the DSWD budget efficiency with regard to purchasing rice from NFA. Kasi you buy at cost, have to resort to higher rates such as 45 pesos per kilo, and dealing with alternative suppliers upon NFA's waiver.
Madam Chair, that's for the disaster.
Yes, correct. So you end up buying at 45. Paano ba ang sistema dyan?
Madam Chair, in the QRF, whenever we need to buy rice for our calamity boxes,
Yes.
we will have to buy it from NFA because of a standing executive order.
Right.
So now, recently, pag wala, then we resort to regular procurement.
So that becomes 45 pesos
Ma'am,
upwards.
nag-iiba-iba eh. Depende sa bantay presyo grid na binibigay kinukuha namin from the Department of Agriculture.
Na kailanman hindi nasusunod.
Ma'am, but we make sure that we buy only within the bandwidth given by the bantay presyo of
So
the
what is the
Department of
present
Agriculture.
bandwidth, just as a matter of curiosity?
Ma'am, 45 pesos to
Yeah, alam
55
ko,
pesos.
hanggang 55
Yes,
na kayo.
ma'am.
Okay.
That's within the bantay presyo that they update every day in their webpage.
Yes, so NFA sells aging stock at 25 per kilo.
Unfortunately, ma'am, we don't get 29.
Parang hindi nangyayari yun.
Ma'am, hindi kami nakakakuha. Recently, they've been issuing waiver of no availability.
Yeah.
Ngayon lang, last
Sa
week.
amin din.
Pero last week, nakakuha kami for NCR, source from Region 2. So we're not going to buy commercially, we're going to get from NFA. Pero hindi siya 29 pesos, 38 pesos, ma'am, based on the new
Kaya nga hindi ko
contract.
naintindihan kasi ang nakalista sa NFA, 25 pesos. Tapos with the 29 pesos, may 29, may 25 sila na sinasabi pag aging stock more than 3 months. Tapos may 29 pesos na sinasabi na binebenta daw sa inyo.
Madam Chair, we'll submit to the committee.
Kadiwa. Pero yung rine-report ninyo, naiba naman.
We'll submit to the committee, ma'am, our memorandum of agreement with NFA that states our buying price. It's at
Right.
38 pesos.
So at NFA now, you're actually, the real is at 38 pesos.
38 pesos, ma'am.
So kayo na yan. Is that aging stock or
No,
fresh?
ma'am, that's fresh. That's fresh.
Aging stock, any idea magkano?
Ma'am, we don't buy aging stock
Ang
because...
daming reklamo dyan eh.
Yes, ma'am. And remember, ma'am, ikakamada ulit namin siya sa box as stockpile. So kung walang calamity, lalong tatagal sa amin, baka the quality of rice might not be usable na pag calamity. So we don't buy aging stock, ma'am.
So no more aging stock. And so you have fresh stock and the going rate, more or less,
38
national
pesos.
average is at 38 pesos, not the 25 that NFA
None, ma'am.
keeps saying.
38 pesos. We
Okay.
have a memorandum of agreement that we'll submit right now.
But in fact, during disasters, napipilitan kayo bumili at 55 pesos.
45 to 55.
Oo. Eh, mura na ngayon kasi 60 plus kapag meron. Di ba? Okay. So, if I could just have that cleared up because iba naman yung sinasabi
Madam Chair, we'll
ng
submit our
NFA.
memorandum of agreement with them.
Yeah. No, well, more importantly, your buying price in the last couple
We
of
will,
months.
Madam Chair. What we'll do is we'll summarize what we've bought
Yeah.
and then submit to the committee accordingly.
Kailan sila last nag-issue ng no availability?
Last week, ma'am, dalawa ho kasi. We have a packing center in Visayas. Sabi nila doon walang stock. But the one in Metro Manila, they said they have a stock. So last week, we got 2 types of waivers from them. One is certification na merong stock in Luzon, and
Right.
then non-availability in Visayas.
Okay, Isabela may stock talaga.
Yes, ma'am. That's where we're
Marami.
getting now for NCR operations.
Okay, fine. I just wanted to clear up, there were some questions about the 4-piece program. Your submissions have some discrepancies. The data you provided for 2024, I think the USEC in charge of the 4-piece, you're currently at 4.277 million households. From the start of the program, you indicated that you had 1.451 million households had exited. Yung 1.451, sabi nyo, exited na yon, ano? So, total of 5.728 households. In the same data, sinabi nyo na 6.472 have been served. So, may discrepancy tayo. It's just arithmetic.
Madam Chair,
Bakit
I'll
may
go through it.
discrepancy ng 743,000?
Madam Chair, if I may, and the
Yeah.
USEC can collaborate. Madam Chair, the target is always 4.4 million. But within months, merong nag-graduate, merong umaalis, may pinapasok ulit. So the current number of beneficiaries, tama ho kayo, is at 4.2.
Yeah,
That's the
what
current.
you submitted eh.
That's the current in our database.
Oh.
Now, yung sinasabi ho nyo nag-exit, sila yung nag-exit from inception of the program till current.
Are you saying from 2007 yan?
Diba 2007 yan?
Ang nipis naman yan.
Ma'am, 2007.
Kaya nga, ang nipis nga. Ang konti naman.
Ma'am, kasi di ba kailangan matapos yung mga anak nila from school, and then they have a 7-year gestation period also. So, yeah. So, ang exit natin,
Ang exit depende sa kung graduation.
But that's 17 years. Siguro naman, under 18 years old lang ang covered.
Madam
na.
Chair, it's only been recent na nag-exit ang DSWD from the program. I'm sure you well know na noon there was a
No,
COA.
may exit din. May exit
Pero konti
din.
ho, that's why COA even cited, before I came in, there was a COA cited finding that said nga na hindi kami nag-exit ng
Hindi
enough.
nga.
So that's
Hindi
why,
mo nag-exit.
yan
Imagine
numero na yan,
17 years.
yan numero na yan is small kasi hindi ho talaga nag-exit noon. But right now, we are more aggressive in it using the SWD. And in 2023, for instance, Madam Chair,
In
alone...
any case, what's the reason for the discrepancy of 743,000?
Ano bang 743?
There's a discrepancy eh. Kasi you said that 6,472 have been served. So, bitin yun. Kasi may 5.728. There, it's not tallying. Unless they become eligible again. I'm just assuming that after COVID, they went right back to being eligible. Is that possible? Di ba tumanda na yung mga anak, hindi na pwede yun?
Madam Chair, let me explain in a less complicated manner. Medyo mahirap sabayan, pero please bear with me. Madam Chair, nung 2019, nagkaroon tayo ng listahanan. Inabutan ho siya ng COVID. So nung pumasok ho si Sec Tulfo and ako, meron ho mga portion na ini-exit massively. Almost 1.4 million yung in-exit. Na pagtingin namin, mahirap pa rin.
I understand. I was there. I was
So
already
binalik
the chair
natin
for that.
sila. We did return people who were inadvertently exited from the program. That's around 700,000.
Yeah.
Roughly, ma'am, 700,000 yung binalik natin.
So are you saying that the discrepancy for the 743,000 is because they were restored, they were re-qualified?
Yes, ma'am. We revisited them using the case management tool to determine kung mahirap pa talaga sila or hindi. Then binalik namin yung mga karapat-dapat
Talagang
na
mahirap
ibalik.
pa naman kahit in-exit ninyo eh.
Madam Chair, pero ito kasi dapat they should not have been
Kasi
exited.
di ba wala naman long-term effect siya eh, sa employment at saka income of household.
Actually, ma'am,
Ang
quite-
epekto lang niya sa vaccination at saka sa edukasyon.
Ma'am, dun sa case management tool that we use, di ba they graduate out also when we see that there's some type of economic sustainability of sorts. Pero ma'am, yes, we did return them back to answer the...
discrepancy, can you just give me a coherent explanation? Because it's not tallying, it's just arithmetic. Bakit ganun? Isa pa, why does the program count college graduation as your achievement? Hindi naman kayo nagbibigay ng tulong sa kolehiyo.
Madam Chair, pero di ba kasi education, keeping kids in school.
Tapos ang baba pa ng score ng high school natin.
Keeping them in school, so we'd like to think na nakaabot sila ng kolehiyo because nag-primary and secondary education.
Di ba dapat CHED yun? Wag na ninyo i-claim yun. Di naman kayo tumutulong dun eh.
18. Ma'am, hanggang
Delete na lang
senior
yan
high.
kasi hindi naman totoo eh.
Yeah. Yes, Madam Chair. But kasi we were trying to show breaking of the intergenerational poverty as a means of success ng program.
I think that should be noted as a mere observation and not claimed as an accomplishment of the program. Hindi naman totoo. Also, out of 1.451 that exited, only a total of 567,000 or 39% exited due to better living conditions, meaning they graduated or voluntarily waived. So are we satisfied that the flagship anti-poverty program has a mere 39.1 success rate? Kasi effectively, that is the success rate that you're claiming. So you're actually saying 61% palpak, 39% okay.
Madam Chair, of the ones that graduated, are you saying that?
Oo, kasi di ba, there's an admission in your presentation that out of the ones who exited, only 567,000 are actually out of poverty. So the rest are not. So ibig sabihin, 39.1% lang ang okay na, nakaahon na. Yung iba, nakalugmok pa rin sa kahirapan.
Madam Chair, sadly because the law has certain things, diba? Pag wala ka ng eligible children, kahit na mahirap ka pa, aalisin ka.
Understood.
So sadly, these are provisions of the law that we want to look into again.
No, that's precisely why you're here, because we are the legislature and we can fix the law. Precisely.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Kasi palpak to.
Madam
Kung
Chair.
magre-report ako na isang programa na 17 taon na sinusugod, abay, napakababa naman ito, 39.1%. Di ba dapat tigilan na yan?
Madam Chair,
Or
two things,
baguhin or
Madam
something.
Chair. One, you're correct that there are limitations to the law. In fact, we are pushing for amendments to include looking at that.
I've never seen any.
Ma'am, we're
amendments
about to
from
submit
you.
now. Two, Madam Chair, if you can recall, we mentioned about commissioning a study on the 4Ps and all the anti-poverty programs.
But I think we don't need the study. These numbers are glaring us in the face.
Yes, Madam Chair, the 883 na umalis na may not have better life, ano sila, wala nang anak ho na nag-childhood
Understood.
age.
They're no longer qualified.
Yeah, so those are
Wala nang minor kids.
those are the limitations that we want to look into. Baka maamendahan ho yung
So
batas.
the other thing is, we've talked about exit programs. Of those who exited, eto nga kasi hindi nga nagtatali, how many became recipients of SLP and were forwarded or endorsed to DepEd for alternative learning,
Madam Chair,
or to DOLE for some kind
Madam
of
Chair,
TESDA training?
will
Wala bang follow-up to?
Ma'am, meron. We will submit to...
Kasi, ang problema, kung 39.1%, kung kumpanya, kayo negosyante, di ba? Kapag kumpanya 39% after 17 years, di ba pinapatay na yung programang yun? Obvious ba na hindi pwede yun? So, are there other metrics that can show some level of success? Because right now, I'm not deriving any.
Madam Chair, for instance, in the... Ma'am, the impact, there's only one impact assessment.
Can you provide some other measure of success for the 4Ps program? Kasi sa ngayon, wala eh. Palpak
Madam Chair,
eh.
that's why we
In the
commissioned...
absolute measure of providing a new pathway out of poverty through 4Ps,
Madam Chair, that's why we
there
commissioned...
simply isn't any success
Madam-
to claim.
Madam Chair, as mentioned in the past two meeting, that's why we commissioned those two studies. Kasi nobody has ever
No,
looked
but in
at...
the meantime, even without the studies, ilan dito na nag-exit ang nag-avail ng iba pang
Yes,
programa
ma'am,
katulad ng
we have that.
SLP, Kalahi Sheets, kung ano man.
Madam Chair, we will send you the committee a submission yung mga na-endorse at
Baka
nag-aral
na-endorse naman
sa kolehiyo.
yun sa ALS, sa
Yes.
DepEd, sa SUC, kung saan
We have that,
TESDA.
Madam Chair.
Anyway, kasi wala akong mahanap na success measure dito eh. The other thing is that you are claiming the social welfare and development indicator as the tool used for the graduation process from the 4 Ps. Do you assess all the 4.4 target
Yes,
households?
Madam Chair. The links natin...
Where did you derive the number 4.4?
Madam, that's the database, but that's the universal that we should keep, 4.4.
I don't understand. What do you mean it's the universal?
In the,
There's certainly more poor people than those.
Definitely, Madam Chair,
And
there's
the
more.
number of the poor who, in fact, have children under the age of majority will certainly be more as the years pass. How come we are stuck to 4.4
Madam Chair,
forever?
because one, nandun yun sa Philippine Development Plan na
Pero
target.
I understand.
And
but,
two,
pero
nasa GAA.
But it's how can you say 4.4 forever when in fact population is growing?
Madam Chair, we really want more.
No,
but
I
even in
understand,
the
but I'm
GAA,
just saying, you have to agree with me that pegging it to an absolute number forever is absurd.
definitely, Madam
So
Chair.
there we go. So,
Ma'am,
what
in-
would the real number be?
6 yan eh, diba? 6 million. 6 million.
No, the ones who are really qualified. I don't think it's 6 million. You're all guessing. I don't believe so.
Madam Chair,
Dami-daming bata sa Pilipinas.
Madam Chair, kasi that's the sad part. Our listahanan only is 2019. It's an old
Understood, and you won't have
listahanan.
any more. But
That-
isn't PSA gonna?
Yes, Madam Chair. So we're looking forward to getting the CBMS kasi doon namin kukunin yung data.
Yeah, no, because, okay, 4.4 is what's stated, but you all know it's absurd. Why don't we question this?
Madam Chair, we will and we have.
And where will we get the data? What is the real number of qualified households? Alam
But-
naman natin, di totoo eh.
Madam Chair, that's why we're
Alam
waiting.
naman, 17 years, hindi lumaki yung populasyon.
Madam-
Labis-labis ang linaki, tapos ito pa rin.
Madam Chair, that's why we're waiting for the new CBMS to come in. Kasi lumang-luma na ho yung listahanan natin. It is a 30% inclusion-exclusion error.
So you have an assessment
5.5.
process, you have an inkling of how many households are due to exit
Madam-
this year?
Exit, ma'am, Madam
Yeah,
Chair.
due to natural attrition.
500,000. 400,000, di ba? Ano yung exit mo this year?
Ito yung sa L3, sa sa
Exit. May projection ka ng exit, di ba? Akin na. Ito. 80,000, no?
Sa next year, sir, 88,000, sir.
Sa this year.
Sa this year ay,
80,000.
no, hindi pa po yan tapos. Ang ating target ngayon is, Chema,
300,000 yun, di ba?
less
ito
than
yung
400,000, sir.
ito yung mo, level 3.
327. Titigil ka na. Mali na naman yun sa'yo. Madam Chair, for this year, the targeted exit is 327,912.
Yes, how did you assess that?
Madam Chair, these are families who have achieved self-sufficiency based on the SWD, yung social welfare indicator, when they were assessed by the case managers on the ground.
Okay, in addition, in your submitted documents, you mentioned that the first 1,000 days for the health of the 0 to 2 from the poorest families, I take it to mean they belong to the 4.4 of the 4 Ps? Or
Yes,
don't
Madam Chair.
We're already giving 750 pesos a month per household, requiring 38.8 billion, targeting 0 to 5-year-old children, and ensuring pre- and postnatal health checkups for pregnant women. Aren't we duplicating this? Doble-doble na to.
Madam Chair, kasi yung
Kasi
health...
sabi mo, meron na tayong health and nutrition for the first 1,000 days. Pagkatapos meron pang 750. Hindi ba patong-patong na yan?
Madam
Bakit
Chair,
nagdodoble? Samantalang yung iba kapos talaga.
Madam Chair, in the studies of PEDS itself and in our own assessment, the health-seeking behavior stops for pregnant and lactating women pag nakatatlong anak na sila. Pag lumagpas na pang-apat, pang-lima, they don't even register anymore their pregnancy. They don't go to the health centers kasi there's simply no way to defray the cost of them doing the health-seeking behavior. So yung pera na binibigay kasi natin is household, so they share it, compared to our proposal na it's per pregnancy.
But you're telling me you're giving 2 lots. Isn't there a more coherent way to address this? Meron kang health grant, tapos may health and nutrition grant. Di ba dapat ipagkaisa na lamang yan?
Madam,
Kasi-
actually, we want to make sure na this one is targeted to the pregnant and lactating women only. Hindi siya for everybody. It's a subset of the entire 4.4.
It's a subset of the 4.4.
It's a subset.
But the 4.4 is already receiving 750. Ba't
Yes,
mo
ma'am. So-
dinodoble-doble?
Ma'am, this is a special targeted intervention for pregnant and lactating women, 0 to 2, the one we keep on mentioning a while ago, para masigurado lang that they do develop that health-seeking behavior. In other countries na may conditional cash transfers, they actually have this, like in India and in Bangladesh. Kasi na-realize nila na kahit may
No,
supply...
Understood that it is a necessary thing to do. It's an important thing to do, but I don't understand why you have to do it twice.
Madam Chair, this one is on a per pregnancy. Yung unang grant natin is para sa kanilang lahat. Ito pang 0 to 2 lang siya. Hindi na ho kasama kung
Can't
may
they
3
be
to 5.
integrated so it's more logical?
Madam Chair, kasi in the computation of the 750,000 pesos, pati yung pag-attend nila ng family development session, credited na kaagad yon. While this one is targeted for the pregnant and lactating women to go to their health centers. Doon sa 750 kasi kasama doon yung pag-attend ng family development session, yung other mechanisms that's beyond the 0 to 2.
Yes, okay. I'd like to understand why hiwalay pa yan. Kasi parang, I mean, it's clearly a duplication as far as I'm concerned because they're already getting something. So if you want to add, you can just top up to the 750. But it seems illogical.
Madam Chair, we can. Basta we'll target it for pregnant lactating women. We don't mind.
Dagdagan na lang.
Yes, ma'am. We don't mind.
Pero hindi naman pwedeng hiwalay na naman.
Ma'am, it's just a matter of how we craft the amendment to the law.
And
We
how
can
much it will
incorporate
be?
it. It's 350 per pregnancy or 0 to 1 na bata. 0 to 2.
Yes, it's curious because you give 750 for 3 kids, 350 for 1 who hasn't been born.
Ma'am, 0 to 2 kasama na yung pag napanganak siya.
Ayun na nga.
Kasi what we want is for that pregnant
Kung ako
woman.
yung nanay, magre-reklamo ako nito.
Madam, importante kasi for that pregnant woman to go get that health-seeking behavior. We know that even hindi pa siya pinapanganak, doon sa sinapupunan, napaka-importante na natatanggap niya yung necessary interventions. From the counseling to what to do early on your pregnancy.
And so you're not going to impose any limits on the number of pregnancies, considering that many have objected to this, saying that you are in fact exacerbating the problem of teenage pregnancy and solo parents.
But I'm sorry if you
Are
do...
you encouraging
No, we're...
teenage pregnancy?
No, we
This
are
has
not.
already been cited by the World Bank as not only a social problem, but a widespread economic development
Madam Chair, in the same study for World Bank and ADB, they keep on repeating that there's no direct correlation between grants and having more children. Even PEDS is saying that. But in this case, kasi, if you do the math, 350 divided by how many days, that's only 30 pesos a day. So that's not a lot of incentive, but more of defraying the cost of going to the health center, commuting to get there, during your pregnancy. It's trying to develop the demand side of it.
So the intent is to give 350 on top of the 750 per month?
Only for pregnant and lactating women,
Understood,
0 to
yeah,
2.
but, okay. So they'll get a total of how much?
Ma'am, depende kung ilan yung
So
0
yung
to 2 mo.
350, presumably for 9 months lang or whatever.
Yes, correct, ma'am.
But if, when
0
they
to 2. You exit when your child, you don't get that grant anymore when you don't have a child na 2-year-old. Kasi first 1,000 days, ma'am Madam Chair.
So for the period of 0 to 2, you're getting double. You get the 350 plus 750. From the period of 2 to 5, you're only getting the 750.
Correct,
Is that
Madam
correct?
Chair.
So, dapat laging buntis. Ganun ba yun?
Madam Chair, again, one would think that, pero I don't think the 350 is enough to get pregnant kasi pag dinivide niyo yun, parang 30 pesos a day lang siya halos. 13 pesos a day lang siya if you divide it. So parang
If you divide it, but you don't go for a prenatal checkup every day naman eh.
Ma'am, one would say that 13 pesos is just really enough to defray the cost of doing the health-seeking behaviors. Other countries do it and they've seen success in it na kahit na maayos yung supply side,
No,
if
I'm
the
not
demand side
against
is
it.
there.
I mean, the question is to do it in a way that would actually encourage healthy pregnancies. This seems a little haphazard and unthought out. So I'm a little bit concerned na you won't get the results you want eh. Kasi parang dinagdagan mo lang kabala ka ni dyan. Parang hindi maliwanag.
Madam Chair,
Mas maigi pa, bigyan mo na yung pera sa RHU at sa BHW, kalampagin nila lahat ng buntis.
Madam, yan ang problema ho. Even in other
Kasi kahit
countries.
ibigay ninyo yan, parang hindi pa rin mangyayari.
Madam Chair, we'll
yan eh.
submit the study ng World Bank.
Okay.
A
I'm
comparative
familiar
study.
with it actually.
Madam, in those countries,
Nakakatawa yung study na yon. Ang dami niyang sinasabi tungkol sa 4Ps. Tapos sa bandang huli sabi, ang ending, ang punchline, matapos sabihin na it doesn't work, ang ending na punchline, kaya pauutangin pa rin
Madam
namin
Chair, in
kayo.
that case, what we'll submit to
Nalito
you
ako doon.
is
Narindi
a-
ako sa ending ng bangko. Talagang bangko eh. Gusto
Madam Chair,
magpautang kahit mali-mali na.
para fair na lang, Madam Chair, para hindi yun yung study na ibibigay namin sa inyo.
Hindi yun ang binigay eh.
Hindi, we will give
Nakakatawa.
you...
ADB at saka World Bank. Bigay ng ng study, nakapos ang 4Ps, sapat lamang for temporary poverty, short-term poverty, no changes in the family situation or intergenerational, multidimensional poverty. Ang daming sinabi. Tapos ang punchline sa huli, kaya magpapautang din kami sa inyo.
Madam Chair,
lubog na tayo sa utang. Alam naman pala nila na walang katagumpay eh.
Madam Chair, para na lang hindi yun yung study, we'll give you a comparative that we've done of countries with similar grants.
Yeah,
Basically,
I'm
what the
relatively
study will say
familiar.
is, even if the supply side is ample, halimbawa, binigay natin sa RHU, barangay health workers, in those countries, nung wala yung grant na yun, the pregnant and lactating women were not seeking the health services that they need. Simply because...
No, I suppose what I'm trying to say is that there should be some type of reward to make it clear that this is being given upon compliance.
Yes, Madam Chair. It
Not
will...
just outright.
Yes, Madam Chair. Forgive us for
Parang
not...
pareho ng 4Ps, kapag hindi ka nagpabakuna, hindi talagang
Madam Chair,
hindi tuloy-tuloy ang bigay.
it's in the conditions that we impose.
Okay.
Na it's all conditional. It's not given to you just outright. You must do necessary steps. For instance, register the pregnancy. Tapos 2, do the prenatal consultation. 3,
Yes,
do the
but
postnatal
since this is a new program, maybe that's what you should have done, provided
Oh.
us with the guidelines. In any case, yeah. So you give us na lang kung paano yan.
We will, Madam Chair.
Kasi wala yun, ang sinabi lang, mamimigay lang, parang ang labo naman nun. We have a projected cash grant deficit of 1.9 billion for 2023. Once again, it's not included in your 2025 computation of the 4Ps budget. At sa bandang huli nito, sasabihin ninyo na ako nagtanggal sa budget ninyo, madyadyaryo na naman ako sa kongreso nito. So,
Madam
my
Chair-
question is, why did you include the same in the 2025 special provision? Are you saying that you expect savings in your 2025 cash grants? Or ako na naman ang sasagot kung bakit ko tinanggal samantalang hindi naman ninyo hiningi?
Madam Chair, yung 2024 yan, di ba? The 2024
No,
project...
this is actually 2023 kung saan ninyo ako sinisi ng bonggang-bongga.
2023. Ito yun. Diba?
Pero ito, sir,
You have a deficit of 1.956
Madam Chair.
billion for fiscal year 2023.
Madam Chair, if you can recall, we had to do the reassessment of the different batches of families who were being removed.
Yes, I do recall.
So,
I do recall very clearly. And since you were unable to provide the information, you were not able to request the same. Kasi wala pa yung listahan ninyo.
So right now, Madam Chair,
So ngayon, may shortage.
may compliance na sila.
Na hindi ko kasalanan, hindi ninyo alam kung ilan talaga.
Ngayon, Madam Chair, we have the figures already to substantiate kung ilan yung
Okay,
nag-comply.
so we're agreed that there's a shortage. Ang problema, bakit nasa 2025 special provision?
Yeah, alam ko.
Sigurado ba kayo may savings yung 2025?
Madam, may tier-
May savings ba pag taon ng halalan?
Madam, hindi ho po siya savings,
Parang hindi
kundi
ako maniwala.
there was a tier 2 that was granted to us by DBM at around 7 billion pesos. Ma'am, may tier 2. Oo nga. Madam Chair, there is a tier 2 7 billion na additional budget na binigay for 4Ps, and we're very thankful for that. That should be enough to cover for the compliance na, kasi compliance based ho tayo eh. So now we've already projected that after the reassessment, we will need 1.9 billion to pay off the deficit. And then, portions of that 7 billion will use to finance the first 1,000 day grant.
Again. Why is it in the special provision for 2025? How sure are you na may savings kayo?
Madam Chair, it's not savings, it's the actual additional tier 2 that we requested. We requested
And
additional.
how sure are you that you're going to get this additional?
Madam Chair, it minus the wisdom of,
So you're saying not savings,
Not
from
savings.
savings,
Not, ma'am.
but from,
additional tier 2 budget that was given to us by DBM.
they've already given it.
It's
to
already in the NEP, Madam Chair.
additional tier 2 of
7 billion pesos.
I don't have it in the breakdown
Madam
of
Chair, you will-
2025. Can you please tell me?
Nakabuilt in
Maybe
na siya eh.
DBM can help us. Wala po sa NEP. Sorry, Secretary, wala po sa NEP. Maybe ASEC Pulido, alam niyo kung saan yung 7B na yan, di ko makita. Ang nakikita ko lamang is special
Akin yung
provision.
confirmation letter.
Director Abad, kabisado po ninyo itong 7 billion. Wala sa akin eh.
Their proposal actually, Madam Chair, includes the 7 billion to cover the supposed arrears. But when we release the computation for the NEP recommended level, the amount that was included there does not include the amount for the computed subsidies in arrears, because we have already provided this year the requirement to cover the grants in arrears for beneficiaries who were enrolled in the program.
Okay,
However,
so Secretary, I
Ma-
think DBM and I
Madam
have
Chair.
the same numbers because the 7 billion doesn't occur.
It's there.
And
but
it shouldn't
upon
be a special
our
provision. It should
but-
be grants in arrears, exactly
Madam
as
Chair.
you say. Yes, let's allow Director Abad to finish what you were saying. I'm sorry, we're all so rude and excitable.
we understand din po that there was this